It's Mike Molina, editor of Guitar Player Magazine at the NAMM show with Lloyd Baggs of LR Baggs here and the beautiful Lyric acoustic microphone system that he's developed. And I mean, we were talking earlier, and obviously, you know, the holy grail for an acoustic player is, you know, a beautiful mic sound, not having a preamp. You've obviously developed something here that solves that in a very elegant way. What was in your mind when you were developing this? What problems were you trying to solve? Or
well, as you said, Michael, the holy grail has always been trying to capture a true studio mic sound for a live performance. So with this microphone we call the Lyric, we have a microphone it's a pressure zone microphone. It's patent pending, and it averages like a pressure zone microphone, but it also cancels all the reflections coming back at it from the body. And that's where the problem has always been. The inside of the body should sound exactly like the outside of the body, except for the body. So that's why a microphone on the outside always has sounded better than a microphone on the inside. So if you could take the body out of the equation, all the reflections and the honkiness and all that kind of stuff out of the equation, then it stands to reason like it should sound like a microphone on the outside of the body. You can't get away with a microphone on the outside of the body because of the directness of the PA and stuff like that. So we've developed this microphone to cancel the reflections on the inside of the body, which just leaves the first generation of waves coming off the top that actually penetrate into the capsule. So it's very much like having a microphone on the outside of the guitar. So that's where the naturalness of the sound comes from.
Now, I'm not an acoustic technical person, but in canceling out the reflections, are you also able to get some of the airiness that a typical microphone would get on the outside, you know, because there's still air moving inside the body?
Oh, absolutely. The sound vibrations that are coming off the inside of the body, if you took the reflections out of the picture, are identical to those coming off the top.
So that's awesome. So actually, without dealing with mic bleed and signal bleed, you're actually able to get, you know, some reflective components into the sound, as well as the fundamental acoustic sound of the string against body.
Well, actually, there are almost no reflective components whatsoever.
Okay.
It's only the sound pressure that's generated in what's called the pressure zone, right on the top, that'll translate into the microphone. So it just takes the body out of the equation. But it's inside the body, so it's protected from the feedback. And also because it's so close to the top, you can really crank this thing up. It's very stable against feedback. So it's kind of the best of all worlds, and we're doing it 100% analog. There is no modeling whatsoever. There's no tricks, there's no gimmicks. It's just a mic. This sounds like your guitar. The gentleman I'll introduce you to here shortly plays with Lyle Lovett. And his name's Keith Sewell, and he was the one that we co-developed this with. And he's been playing 2,000-seat auditoriums for 6 months with it. And you know, we developed this for bluegrass primarily, and then it's kind of caught on. It's like it's taken on quite a life of its own, actually more than we had expected. So I'm really happy to see that in the larger venues that it's remarkably stable.
Oh, cool. How long did it take for, you know, inception to, you know, prototypes with this? I mean, how long were you in development on it?
The very first guitar pickup I ever made, when I was still making guitars, I took a Sony lapel microphone and put it in I made a little miniature PZM out of it, and I stuck it down in the lower body of the guitar somewhere, and it actually sounded pretty good. But it was feedbacky, and I mean, it was kind of a mess, but it always stuck in my head as a good way to go.
Okay.
And so finally, about 4 years ago, we came up with the Anthem, where we used the same mic in combination with an under-saddle pickup, and using this noise canceling technology, we were able to run the microphone down all the way to 250 cycles. So it wasn't just adding a little air or trying to deodorize a pickup on the top end. It was actually a significant part of the equation. But since then, you know, Keith asked the question, well, do you think we could make it go full range? And I said, well, I don't know. And he was like brave enough to test this in the real world. So I thought, well, what a great opportunity. And so we created a preamp for him, and we sent him out on the road with it. And he called back and he said, hey, this thing's working great. So that gave us the courage to take it further and really develop a system that would be as it is today.
And when is this available? When do you think guitar player viewers could see a review of this?
Well, we'll have one to you right away. It's shipping. It's shipping from the show.
Okay.
But we're actually ready to go with it.
Okay, we'll try to get it, you know, like a May issue or something like that. Okay.
Awesome. That'd be
and
fantastic.
I think you're going to have Keith play for us now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So part 2 of the video, we get to hear Keith actually play the system.
Yeah.
This is the fabulous Keith Sewell, an amazing acoustic guitar player who's on the road with Lyle Lovett. You helped develop this system, and you've also played it in like huge theaters. So what's can you give our readers some of your perceptions about, you know, the benefits and the tonal quality that, and maybe some of the things that you brought to the party as far as what you wanted to hear from it?
Well, being a huge fan of the Anthem and using that for years in the SL, I really felt like asking Lloyd one day, you know, why can't this be a mic only thing, a full range thing? And of course he told me all the reasons that, you know, he felt would be challenging, but you know, it kind of got his wheels spinning, you know, and we decided to. I went out there in June of last year, and Tommy and Lloyd kind of came up with a prototype. It was an initial version, and I brought it home and installed it in the guitar, and I took it on the road, and you know, we had to do some tweaking and stuff, but we found that it was really stable and really usable, and I played that guitar most of the summer. I think Justin Weaver, who's out with Winona, has been trying it this year. He used it on a Christmas tour, and just the front of house guys are blown away with it. He's blown away with it. They're all on ears. It really works well when you're on ears, because it's like, it just sounds like you're in the studio. It's really amazing. But yeah.
Do you want to let our readers hear what it kind of sounds like?